Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video on my channel, Tech with Marco. Today's video is about how to set up your Mac as a programmer. I work as a software engineer and I need to use a bunch of different tools every day. So with my new MacBook, I have a fresh start to begin with. Let's jump right in on the first modifications I do. At the beginning, I like to go into the Finder and modify it a bit. So at the beginning, I go to View and select As List, and then I proceed on to view again and show path bar. So at all times I know where I'm at. And also I like to modify a bit of my favorites here and disable the tags here. I think I'll do that in the Finder settings. So here are the tags. Oh, here's the sidebar. And then I just can click Movies, Marco. And at the bottom here, we can disable the tags, because I don't use them at all, so it doesn't matter. And now I'm more satisfied than before. Perfect. So the second modification I do is in the system settings. Let's jump right in here, and I prefer the dark appearance mode here. And the next settings, they've got to do with the keyboard and the trackpad. I prefer the keyboard navigation, so whenever there's a pop-up, I can just confirm the dialog with hitting the spacebar or the return button. At next, I'd like to modify a bit the trackpad settings here. I'd like to tap to click. Disable the force and click haptic feedback, so I don't use it at all. Yeah, the natural scrolling, I'm just kind of used to the other way around of scrolling before the iPhones, before the smartphone era. But I love a hidden setting here in the accessibility menu. So when you scroll down to, I think it's the pointer control. Yeah, so we have here the trackpad options. And I'd like to use the trackpad for dragging. And the dragging style is with 3 fingers. So that means I can just drag the window here, pressing down 3 fingers on the trackpad. And this is also good for marking text. So for example, I'm just adding a new document here. So I'm writing text, blah, 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 something. And then I can just mark any text here with 3 fingers. What I then do is install a good package manager. So just go open Safari, go to brew.sh, and then you see the section here, install homebrew. And you can click the button here and it will copy the command here in the clipboard, and then hit CMD and space, so the spotlight search, and enter the terminal. So we open the terminal and then paste this command here and press the return button. We'll now ask for a password and then install it. So after waiting like 2 or 3 minutes, it's completed, and it shows you a warning here. So it says homebrew is not in your path. So you have to add these 2 commands into your, you hit them into your terminal here. So it will echo the set path, man path into the Z profile. And after doing that, you're good to go to use the brew command. The next thing I do is install another terminal. I use the application Tabby. I think it was named Terminus something. What I do now is go to brew.sh and just enter the package name you want to install, and then you can find it here. And then it's also showing where it's originating from, so you basically should check that every time. Then what I just do, I just hit the copy button, go back to the terminal, paste the command, and let it install. Tabby is a very nice terminal emulator. It has lots of modification possibilities, and you can also sync your settings much better than the original terminal. So after Tabby is installed, I'm closing here the terminal and also Safari. I'm just hitting Spotlight and enter Tabby. Now it's opening. Yeah, now what I can do is also, because I enabled the setting navigating with keyboard, I can just hit tab and now the thing switched to open. Now I can just press the space bar and it's opening. I do not have to use the trackpad for it. Now I can open a new terminal. I have different tabs here. I can use them and I can change. So let's go have a look in the settings here. I can change the appearance here. enter different fonts. Yeah, so you get a preview of how it would look like. But for now, I just leave it on basic settings. The next modification is one of my favorites. As macOS is already using the Zsh shell, we can extend it with the plugin My Zsh shell, which is basically a framework for Zsh shell, which manages Zsh shell configurations. You can install plugins, and it's highly customizable. Basically, it's a Zsh shell on steroids. Yeah, let's just open Safari and we go to My Zsh shell here. And then you can just hit the button install My Zsh shell, and you get a command what you can copy, open Tabby again, open a new terminal and paste the command. And as you already see, My Zsh shell looks a bit more beautiful. What I really like about My Zsh shell is the theming, and it has also a lot of Git features. So it shows you the branch you're on. It has lots of Git shortcuts. For My Zsh shell, I'm thinking about doing a detailed video about it in the future. So if you're interested, just let me know in the comments. The theme, what I like to use for My Zsh shell is called Power Level 10K. Yeah, so there's the Getting Started section, which is writing about the recommended font, and also installing the Power Level 10K itself. I'm starting here with installing the font. So I'm downloading the fonts here. Go to Downloads. Installing the regular file. It's validating install. So now you configure your terminal to use this font. As you already saw, I'm going here to the appearance and go to font. That one is called Meslo LGSNF. Just hit that. Now let's install Power Level 10K itself. I have here the My Zsh shell and I'm copying the command. So it's cloning the repository into the Zsh shell custom theme home directory. And yeah, now I have to set the Power Level 10K in the Zsh shell RC file. So we open the Zsh shell RC file. So I'm opening it now with VI. I do not have any other editor. In this line here, there you can see the Zsh shell theme. Deleting the standard Robbie Russell theme and right quit. So now we're sourcing the file. That means we're reloading the configuration file. Now I have the setup of the Power Level 10K. And I'd like to apply my changes to my Zsh shell RC. So if I now go to what's hidden here, My Zsh shell, you can see this is the Git repo of the My Zsh shell itself. So now it's saying me I'm at the branch of master. Do you use your macOS Spotlight search a lot? Because I do, and I'd like to have it more powerful. So that's what I am installing now. The program is called Raycast. Raycast is such a nice tool. It's basically like macOS Spotlight search, but way more powerful. So you can install any plugin or write your own plugins, as it's also open source. And what I'm doing now, I'm just opening the Spotlight search, opening Raycast. And let's begin here. So it's basically like advertising with supercharging your productivity. There are like lots of extensions here: clipboard, history, dictionaries, file search, navigation, reminders. So it's coming with a built-in window management hotkey plugin. I think the program which lots of people use is called Rectangle. Yeah, basically Raycast is also doing the same, but out of the box. You don't need another program for that. And the Raycast hotkey is currently it's Option and space, but I'm used to Command and space. So I'm changing that one here. For that, you have to go into the system settings again, to your keyboard, and go to your keyboard shortcuts and go here to Spotlight and show the Spotlight search. Yeah, so I'm just disabling it. So whenever I'm now hitting Command space, nothing is happening. But now I can assign that one here to Command and space. The walkthrough, I've already done this a few times, so I'm just dismissing here. And the good thing is now, for example, I want to install the extension or any other extension, I just can go to the store. I have to accept the terms of service. Yes. Let's say I want to just translate something, going for Google Translate. And now I can install the extension here. Let's say I just want to translate something from English to German. I'm hitting Command Space, which is opening Raycast. I can now type in translate. And now I can translate here. Now it got translated to German. Yeah, so it's basically a very nice or even better Spotlight search. As a browser, I do not like to use Safari so much, so now it's time to change that. What I use is the Brave browser. If you've never heard of it, it's from the guy who also founded JavaScript. I think his name is Brandon Eich. And the nice thing about the Brave browser is it's already very privacy friendly. It's blocking lots of any website trackers or cookies, and that's why I like to use it. As an example how privacy friendly it is, I'm just opening up the Brave browser here and also keeping it in the dock. Yeah, set Brave as default browser, use Brave, and I'd like to match my system settings, which is basically the dark mode. For example, it does not have Google configured as default search engine. So if I want to search something, test for example here, it's using Brave search. But let's say I want different search results. Now I could enter google.com here, for example, and search anything. But I can go into the address bar and enter :G, which means Google search. And now I'm hitting the space. And now it's searching Google for my search query. So in my daily life of a software engineer, I also use Git as version control system lots of times. What I then do is, if I have a new computer, I'm also creating new SSH keys. As I cannot remember every command about creating the SSH keys because I do not do it very often, I'm relying on the GitHub documentation. I'll just link that below in the description. We can just scroll down here, generating SSH keys. And now I'm saving it into the default SSH directory. Now you have to put your public key, which your SSH just generated. You have to put it into your GitHub account. And you can basically do that by cat on the file. Go to your home directory, .sh, and the file you just created, and put the .pub behind that for public. Now copy it here, or you can pipe it into the pb copy command, which is pasteboard copy, I think, in macOS, and then it does not have any output, but it's copied into your clipboard. But the most important part of the setup for a developer is the development environment. So there are lots of different options. Most of the time I use IntelliJ, but I also started trying out VS Code because it has lots of options with plugins. Let's just have a quick look at Visual Studio Code. I'm just starting it up here. What I would recommend is enabling the settings sync. So whatever you're changing here is synced into your Microsoft account. Sign in and turn it on. I'm just doing it later now. So let's have a look at the extensions or the plugins you can install. And I'm just seeing here Python, which I code often. I'm installing it now. And that leads me to the Python itself. I haven't installed it yet. So I'm using the pyenv, which is a version management tool for Python. So I can now just enter pyenv install the version here. Yeah, after it's installed, I can now just reloading here. Python minus version. And now it's to the 3.11.1. And as I'm also doing lots of Java development, let's see, we don't have any Java installed. So let's go to the SDKman website, and I can just call the installation script, and now it's piping it into bash, but I could also use zshell. So now I'm installing just the latest Java version with SDK install Java. And after the installation, I can also set it to the global version, basically the same as pyenv. And now I'm good to go with Java and Python. And now it's all wrapped up. I hope you got a nice overview of how to set up your MacBook for programming or as a developer, and gain some new insights how I use my MacBook and what applications I use for programming and terminal navigation. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Bye!